and weekly. I choose it, yo. Hey, step inside, I give thanks and the highest praise. Ground myself to my earth, connect out the space.
Well, hello again to episode number 15. Thank you very much. We're a minute or two late. I didn't realise I was getting so carried away behind the scenes. Thank you so much for joining us. There's already tons of people, as usual, in the chat, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm here with my wonderful co-presenter with half a head. It looks, there she is, with Loullamae. And we've become really a bit of a double act. This show was meant to be about kind of music and synths and high-tech audio and that kind of stuff. And it still is. It still has a sort of nod towards that. But basically, it's just become a little bit about Loullamae's quiz, which more will become apparent later if this is your first time. If this is your first time, welcome along. And if you're watching it on replay after the live, brilliant. Thank you so much. I've got to give a special shout out to Gaz and family out there in Tasmania. Again, they should be watching. I'll shout at the end anyway in case you're watching and you missed the beginning. And in the chat we have Brett Lemming, Synth Addict, Martin Taylor, Paul Artola, Keith in Watford, Failed Muso. I mean, it's just brilliant. Jim Glue, there are loads. Azio Head, so many people. Thank you. I'll give a proper shout out a bit later on as well. Inky the Cat is in the... Oh, thank goodness for that. Inky the Cat, thank goodness for that. She's in the chat. What a rapper. She is moderating, so please be nice to Inky. If you're nasty or rude or horrible to anyone, Inky will just kick you out with no trouble at all. I guess the best thing to do is to carry on. We have the most wonderful guest who probably a lot of you will be aware of. I hope so. Jennifer Stephenson, I met through a mutual love of the Deluge beatbox, band in a box, whatever you want to call it, groove machine. And we met at an event by Synthstrom in London, quite a small event, which was just when Ian, their kind of co-director, marketing guy, came over to do some demonstrations, and I met a bunch of people, one of which was Jen, and we've stayed in touch ever since and just kind of been good Facebook friends, and kind of, yeah, it's just been brilliant. And she has gone effectively from having no synths and I guess not into making music, I mean we'll find out, to having lots of synths and getting live gigs and bookings and tracks released and stuff within the space of literally a couple of years, I think, which is astonishing. So I kind of wanted to find out how that happened. So yeah, without further ado, welcome Jennifer Stephenson. How are you?
Hi, I'm very well. Wow, I'm not too bad, thanks. I'm not too bad. I'm still suffering a bit with the cold, but
yeah, you tested positive for COVID, right? So you're stuck at home, can't move, which is kind of crazy. So thank you so much for coming on. How are you actually feeling? What happened?
I'm okay. Yeah. It was 3 or 4 sweaty days. It's moved into my head now, so I've got terrible.
Right.
I'm sounding a bit like this. Yeah, you can't actually tell any difference.
That's true, actually. Yes.
So yeah, I'm very nasally at the moment, but I'm all right. You know, I've got
Good.
days, I think, and I'm allowed out again.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. If the audio's all right, just give us, or if the audio's not all right, give us a shout in the chat. Mike Low, Jennifer's audio is very low. As loud as you can make it then, please.
Is that better?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Give us a warning if Jen is still low. I was looking at an earlier bit of the chat. No one was mentioning it, but so I tell you what. First of all, we made you a jingle. Well, I say we. Loullamae made you a jingle with a little bit of a help from me. So this is your jingle.
Who's today's guest?
Is Jennifer is for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
Is Jennifer is for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
Is Jennifer is for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
Is Jennifer is for the quiz time.
Welcome to the show. How cool is that?
That was amazing.
And it's a drum loop out of Logic, and everything else, including guitar, played by Loullamae. They are still saying you are super low, I'm afraid. So can you scream into the mic and whack up the level to the absolute top and see if you can break
Is that
it?
better? Is that
I
better?
hope so. I hope
sounds
so.
okay. Great.
Lots of applause in the chat for Loullamae. Thank you so much. Maybe we'll run that again later because it's so good. It's so good. Hopefully that'll be good. So tell us, how did this whole thing start? You've got no music kit. Maybe you've got a guitar. I don't know. What made you get a synth?
Okay. Well, it actually first started when I was about 8. I got a Yamaha, I think it was a PSS 360 for Christmas. And then the next year I got a PSS 460, and my father built me a stand so I could play them both at the same time. And I won a talent competition when I was about 12. I think it was at Ladbrokes holiday camp. And I won a free holiday. But I was about 12. The only thing I really remember is that I wet myself in the final.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't win. And also at school, when I was in junior school, I had a few guitar lessons for a couple of years. But then around 12 or 13, I'd say, I just kind of completely dropped trying to make any music and just went out partying, really.
Okay, well that's good enough. And then you started listening to some music and decided what made you think of getting into it? Because people I've spoken to before kind of have often said, "Oh, I heard this tune, and this tune, I wanted to make a tune like this," rather than I heard Jean-Michel Jarre or someone, which is kind of a bit more old school. But what kicked you off?
It was a lot more. It was gentler than that, really. About 7 years ago, I saw there was a local ukulele group, and that got me into music and going along to this group. And we used to perform at care homes and in the town centre for the Christmas lights and things like this. And that got me into music. And then I started to want to record it. So that was when I got a copy of Live.
Right.
And then I thought, well, I need to add some drums to this ukulele stuff. So I got a TR-8S, I think. No, not an S, a TR-8. And a machine, and what was the other one? The other area, a System 1. Just so I could make music, really. It wasn't specifically so I could make electronic music.
Right.
I just kind of wanted some instruments to add to the uke, really. Then I realised how awful the ukulele is. Done that.
They're great. They're great. I'm afraid you're still pretty quiet. It sort of disappears off. I don't know if you can hang the microphone from your nose or.
I can perhaps hold it here. How's that? Is that good?
Wow, that's like another world. That's
Is
just
that loud
like,
enough now?
Boom. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually.
I'll put it back here. There you go.
Yeah. I think because as we talk, our voices get a bit quieter anyway. But no, that would be perfect. Thank you so much. Louder is better, definitely.
Sure.
So you've got a uke and you've got a machiner. I don't know if it's machine or machiner and some synths. So what were you doing with them? Were you recording them into something or playing? Or were you sequencing out of Live, right? Or
well, I was using Ableton to make backing tracks for me to play the ukulele with.
Oh, gotcha, right.
So I do the drums and the bass, and so one of them, the first one I did, I think, was Another Brick in the Wall.
Right.
So I did the bass line, and I'd lay the whole track out so that me and my friends could just sit down and do our uke bit to it.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it was good. It's good fun. Then I kind of thought, well, actually, I'd like to do a bit more than the uke bit, and then perhaps even a different style of music. And it was at that point I thought, actually, probably the uke isn't needed anymore.
So I can see a bunch up behind you on screen, which is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I
have
have
the bottoms.
Kind of 5-string, 6-string, 7-string, 8-string, 4-string. There's a vintage green one. I don't think you can see that.
It's just gone off the top of the screen, I think.
I'll grab it. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
I'll go and grab it. Okay. I can't hear you a second.
Right, now we can talk about her. She's gone. She can't hear a word we're saying. Is the audio a bit better with the mic in hand now? Just let us know. Oh,
So I have a
wow.
little green one. This one here is 70 years old. They made 4 million of them, but they were children's toys, and because they were plastic, they all got destroyed.
Wow.
I have the original box for this.
What make is that?
It's a Islander. It's
Oh,
called.
nice.
There was a man called Macaferri back in the 60s, and he wanted to bring music to children, so he wanted to invent plastic guitars and plastic ukuleles, and he did both. And the guitars now go for sort of thousands because they're so rare. And they're all made of this plastic called styron, which is pretty naff, really.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a uke thing, which I've always had. But I dropped that. I play them for fun now.
Is there a local group of uke enthusiasts still, or has that died off a little bit?
Well, I used to be a member of Aylesbury Ukulele Group. So,
Oh, wow.
And we'd go round care homes once a month and play for all the old people for free. As I say, twice we played in town to turn the Christmas lights on. It was quite a nice social group.
This sounds so lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, I think there's about 4 in this area that I used to go to once a month. So every week there would be a new uke group to go and see different friends. There's one in.
This is so good. I love it.
20 miles up there. I can't remember what it was called.
We should see if we can.
haven't done it for a while now.
Right. I mean, we should see if there's a local one here. We've got ukuleles. What do you reckon to that, Loullamae? We could go and join a ukulele group. Play along. That sounds. Yeah, the ukulele's over, and we've got it over in the back there. But I played it once at your birthday, didn't I? Did Daydream Believer? You probably wouldn't remember that. That's the only thing I can play on a ukulele is Daydream Believer. Such a good song. Such a good song.
I think I played it on the ukulele many times, actually.
So what happened then from ukulele, and it just got bigger, did it? And the Deluge came along and...
When there was a particular friend that was quite good on the piano, so we got together and used to jam a lot together. Unfortunately, he never had any interest in coming in and doing the electronic stuff. So, yeah, that was kind of when I just kind of split away from it all, really, and started concentrating on the electronic stuff. It was really Dean Daughter that got me into this properly, because I bought a Deluge, and he does the Sidechain show, which is in a private group, so not many people know about it.
Yeah.
And doing a 5-minute set once a month, which was kind of what got me into actually finishing stuff rather than making 8-bar loops and jamming them for a bit and then turning the machine off again. So then to actually produce something that someone could listen to, which is still a fairly new concept for me, really.
Yeah, I remember that actually very well. The Sidechain, there's a Facebook group called Synth and Sobriety, which is just kind of a really good, you'd be amazed who's in that group. There's lots and lots of people, and they do a Sidechain event every now and then, sort of semi-regularly. And it's a bit, it's just a live streaming event where everyone can come and play stuff. And actually that got me into doing live stream quite a lot, actually, the people that were involved in that group. So I guess we must have bumped into each other back there as well, and then that led on to things like the URL. And
that's actually where we first met.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that. That's ages ago.
Before I met you at Deluge, you've forgotten about this, we actually met in Watford, and you swapped 3
I lent you that
for a Tempest for about 6 months.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm so horrible.
That's all right. I borrowed your Tempest and swapped you my OBX for a while. That's right. And then I ended up buying a Tempest, which is behind me, because they're so good. Yes. God, my memory is going. I think it's early onset. Yeah, it is actually. The Tempest is amazing. Any questions and stuff from the chat are very, very, very welcome. There's lots of big ups for you going and playing your ukulele in old people's homes, not old ladies' homes. What am I talking about? And we want to hear the big questions. Hello to you, Ray Malone. Much love to you from Canada, and hugs to Jennifer. Well, he's another one. That's Lion Sand, back from those days in Synth and Sobriety. Do you remember? Saying hello. It's lovely to hear from you. And Dean Daughters, we need to big up Dean Daughters. So Dean Daughters is Electronic Sounds, and he runs a live stream every Sunday, which clashes in the middle, unfortunately, with this. So he'll be running it now. However, his live stream goes on for ages. So if you join his stream round about 7 o'clock, he'll stamp your hand or give you a ticket so you can get back again free. You can whiz over here, watch this, and then whiz back and catch it again. So we have this kind of understanding because it does a very, very, very good stream. And also, Electronic Sounds make amazing sound patches for synths and samplers and all sorts. He's a drummer originally, but a really, really good programmer in terms of music programmer, and his sound sets are incredible. So well worth checking out Electronic Sounds. But yeah, check us some questions if you want. We went fishing this week, and I promised Loullamae I would play you this video because it didn't quite go according to plan. It's probably. Are you a fishing fan? I'm guessing you're probably not top of your list to go fishing, is it, Jen?
It's not something I've done often.
Okay. Just discovered that pepperami is tasty. We are by the banks of Jeff's Lake in West Sussex, and Loullamae is fishing. We both are, actually. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Actually perfect for fishing. It's not too hot. Loullamae is... Oh, no! Okay. Right. Oh no, look, that's a fish. Oh, hang on. That's not meant to happen.
Okay.
Careful. That was a bleep. Well, we might have almost have caught a fish live then, but never mind. I think we probably better concentrate. See you later. Yeah. Didn't do too badly. There's a quiz question later about how good you were at fishing, though. But yeah, that was a moment. And then it started pouring with rain. But it was a nice day out. Honestly, it's a really, really nice day out, just sitting by the river with your daughter going fishing, which is kind of cool. There is a question about your lights, the hula hoopy light installation.
Okay, well, I'm glad it's about the music. Yes, so the hula hoopy light, an LED, it's called an LED hoop. You can get them from LED Hoops. They come with a remote, and it's about £90, I believe. There you go.
They are super cool.
Yeah, I have two of them because one of them kind of broke, and it wouldn't change the pattern. And I phoned them up, and they sent me another one, and said keep the other one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
That's
I mean,
cool.
they're just lights on the wall, really.
Yeah. If anyone is interested in the music, which they are, I know they are, not the light show, all the links are on mrwiggly.co.uk/live. So let me just pop that up in case it's not clear. I've got a picture, actually, of Jen's studio here, which is probably a slightly old picture, I think. But here is the link. Go to mrwiggly.co.uk/live, and on there are all the show links that you'll need. So there's Jen's Twitter, which I can put up here anyway, because it's actually not that hard. So @thejen_s, but that's up there on mrwiggly.co.uk/live, and the SoundCloud links are up there as well. But please do follow. Jen has 22,000 Twitter followers. We were just remarking how amazing that was compared to my... I've got the 200. She's got the 22,200. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, if you want to know what's going on and you want to follow the music, pop over to the Twitter page or go to mrwiggly.co.uk/live. Also, if you're interested, Loullamae's been raising money for the Great Ormond Street Hospital. And she's raised, what is it, £217, which I think is pretty incredible, to be honest. So if anyone fancies...
I think it's more.
Is it more since the last time I looked?
I think.
Okay, well, that's
I'm
really
not sure.
cool. We don't take payments or anything for not take payments for doing a YouTube. Of course we don't, but, don't give us money. Put the money to Great Ormond Street Hospital. If you go again to mrwiggly.co.uk/live, there's a link to Just Giving page that goes to them on our behalf. And I think that's really cool. You've done so well. Next term, when the school kicks off, I think we'll be able to get a lot of pocket money out of those school friends of yours. What do you reckon? Where do you get from where you just left off to a studio that's as kind of complex as that and making it all work? And I mean, helped you read the manuals and stuff. There's a leap here that I'm not quite getting. And what I was really interested in was kind of how it moves in the space of 18 months, is it? From kind of the early days to actually getting bookings and getting a release out.
I'd say a couple of years at least, really. I mean, I've been buying the kit for about 4 or 5 years.
Louder, please.
Okay, so I've been buying the kit for about 4 or 5 years, but I had this problem where I would buy a piece of kit, think, oh, this is great, have a play with it, see what it could do, and then put it to one side, and I never quite twigged that these bits of kit would all work together, and I could use them at the same time. I spent a couple of years trying to work out why there were 16 channels of MIDI, and I'm not keen on manuals, I'm not going to lie.
As are we all, I think.
So it was really about a year ago that my attention was brought to these magical merge boxes, and that I could send MIDI from the Deluge to all my machines at once, and it would tell them all what to do. And that was a bit of a revelation for me. I thought, wow, because before then, every time I made a track, I would link, say, the Tempest with the MIDI lead to the system one, and then perhaps again daisy chain that onto another synthesizer.
Right.
So I daisy chain everything together. It was very frustrating for me. If I wanted to go back to something, I wouldn't remember what did I have connected. Did I have this bits of kit or this bits of kit?
Gotcha.
So it made it that I'd have a play, I'd make a track, I'd do a side chain show, and then that would kind of be lost forever. And that doesn't inspire me to make music if I can't go back to it and bring it up again, really. So I found out about these MIDI boxes, and it was at that point that I kind of discovered that the Deluge could control all of them at the same time. And I'm not sure many people do this, but from what I understand, a lot of people, you all make music and you save your patterns on each machine, and then as you're performing, you change your patterns on each machine, which I thought was a very cack-handed way of doing things. So I mean, it doesn't matter to me how many patterns or how long the patterns are that a machine can store. It still can't store unlimited patterns of unlimited length.
Yes.
Which is what the Deluge can do. So I don't store anything on any machine, no patterns anywhere. It's all done from one Deluge in the middle. And it was at that point I started noticing that Mark had a Jaspers, and I started envisaging this kind of Deluge in the centre with everything around it, all being controlled by one machine.
Gotcha.
So that's what I did, and it's only really been working like that since about January. So up until then, most of my music was kind of 80% frustration and fiddling with wires and really getting frustrated with things, and generally just turning it off in stress. And I'd spend 10-20% of the time actually making any music. Now it's 99% of the time I turn it on, it all works. It's all the MIDI channels are routed. I don't have to unplug anything. Yeah, there you go.
And how do you find, because the usual thing where people are talking about the Deluge is it doesn't have a display.
Good.
How do you...
I'm making music. I don't want to look at lights. I don't need to know what the display says.
Yeah.
I can press a track. It will tell me what effects are on. And if I want to make a synthesizer, I really don't need to navigate through millions of menus. It's so easy. I mean, I personally think the people that knock it are probably the ones that haven't tried it and got used to it.
I think you're right. Yeah. I mean, my good friend Robert Fatdust Hecksch, and I still don't feel comfortable calling him that, mentioned in the chat earlier, actually, he sold his and quite recently and replaced it with an Akai. And I take his opinion. He couldn't get his head around it after a while. Kind of felt a little bit stuck with it and changed and is perfectly happy. But he's the only person I think I know that's actually had one and gone. And it wasn't because of the display that he sold it. It was literally like time to change things up a little bit. And I agree. I mean, the only thing you need the display for is really waveform displays sometimes. And you could get that on the buttons because the buttons turn into a display to show that. So if you want to know your start and end point. This thing I've been playing with, arrived recently, this has no display either, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's not a Deluge in any way whatsoever, but it's a great thing for playing with samples and tweaking sounds and doing lo-fi weird and wonderful bits and pieces So there's some videos of that coming up, but yeah, that has no display as well, and that's its charm. And I think the same thing applies to the Deluge. The wonderful kind of stuff that you can do because you're not locked into that screen is kind of definitely part of its charm, right?
It is, but I also am quite aware. I don't want to fall into trying to push a Deluge down everyone's throat.
No.
They're not for everyone, are they? I mean, really, it's just I use it mainly as a sequencer, and it's fantastic because I can sequence everything and group things together so I can launch more than one at once. And it is an amazing machine, but I've not tried an Akai Force. I've never tried an MPC in my life. So
well, that update on the MPC that's just come out, without wanting to get too geeky, it was it's looking amazing actually. Here's Rob. It was transferring data to a DAW. Okay, so his big issue was that when he'd got something going on it and he wanted to transfer it into the computer to work on it, it is a pain. You can't just press a button and squirt out all the audio into separate files, which is fair enough.
That's why I got the Model 24, because my whole idea is that while I'm jamming on the rig with the Deluge controlling everything, I'm recording it all individually on the computer into tracks.
Right.
And I can then edit that later. So everything I do, I record it individually into Emotion.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Brett Lemmings, have they implemented wavetables in the Deluge yet? I don't know.
Aren't they? Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's out yet. I haven't done the last update. I'm about to do some videos because the first videos I did were of the Deluge, and they've had like 15,000 views. They still get about 500 views a week or something, and they must be so out of date. It's like how to sample on a Deluge before you could even see the display and stuff, you know. So I'm really happy and grateful that they're obviously of use to some people, but I've got to do a Mark II, I think. Anyway, so let's just see. Cresshead says, I am very happy with my MPC-1. Not tried a Deluge though. No shops around here to try anything. Yep, that is one of the problems, I guess, buying direct as well. Wagyu says he's got nowhere around to try before buy either. Thank goodness for YouTube to help research stuff first. Part of the fun, really. Yeah. And Inky says, basically, you're super organised. She just records a WAV. So that's one of the first time I think anyone said, you're super organised.
I don't like the fact that if you record it and you want to remove something,
right?
If you don't multi-track, you can't do that, can you?
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough.
You know, you can completely remove a track or anything. So it makes it, I think, a bit more fun.
I'm flipping around to recording everything. Definitely. Things like that 404 I just said, you know, the only way you can do it is to bounce stuff together. And when I'm recording into the DAW, I tend to now commit patterns rather than keep them in MIDI, where I used to keep them in MIDI. But mainly because it forces me to make a decision. It's probably a bad idea, but otherwise you just get stuck with so many possibilities. You know, if it's good enough, bang, that's printed now. You know, if it's not good enough, I'm going to have to go and record it again, not tweak something tiny. Otherwise, I never get anything finished anyway. I mean, are you one for getting stuff finished, or it just goes on?
I'm trying to now. I think I put my first track on SoundCloud about a year ago, and it's the Deluge track that's on the album. And I think I put 6 on in the past year, so not on a huge amount. I'm very torn always between live jams and finishing a whole song. Finishing a whole song
right.
does bore me a bit.
I can never finish anything. In fact, I can only finish something if it has to be delivered. You know, like the Clownfest stuff. We've got another Clownfest coming up in a couple of weeks.
I haven't started mine yet.
No, I think it's 2 weeks, isn't it? So Jen will be on Clownfest. I've got a Clownfest to do, and it'll be done the night before probably. Poor old Mark, who's organising it all, gets a video or a stream, like literally at the last moment, which is very, very unfair. Fabian Cortez, so many choices like the Deluge Innovation tracks, MPC or the Machine standalone. Happy that there's just so many possibilities these days. Absolutely, isn't it brilliant? And it's not all in the box. It's absolutely wonderful. And still, like I say, honestly, because it's my new favourite thing, this is still, these things are still around and not outrageously expensive at all. Right, shall we ignore all this music stuff and go and do maybe something like a quiz or something? Do you reckon it's time? You ready for this, Jen?
Oh yeah, this is the best bit.
Okie dokie. So nice and loud into the mic, if you wouldn't mind that. And if no one else is, if there are people who haven't seen this yet, this is kind of the high point in the show that everyone tunes into. The beginning at the bit at the beginning and the bit at the end are really just kind of getting in the way, to be honest. So stand by, everybody. I think it's worthwhile having another listen to the jam before the quiz video. So here we go. Who's today's guest?
It's Jennifer S for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
It's Jennifer S for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
It's Jennifer S for the quiz time.
Who's today's guest?
It's Jennifer S for the quiz time.
Okay, it's time for the wonderful best quiz on the internet. And straight over to Loullamae.
What is different about me?
Okay, this question is for the chatters because actually Jen knows the answer to this because we unfortunately gave it away when we were testing her setup. So if anyone in the chat knows what's different about Loullamae today, give it a go and let us know. Oh, okay. Well, Inky's got it straight away. Ear colour, says Ray Malone. You're taller than last week. Tooth pulled, tooth missing. No, it is. You can tell everyone.
I got a friend.
Loullamae's got a fringe. Okay, so let's have the first real question of the show. Are you ready? Eyes down.
What is my favourite type of biscuit?
Jammy Dodger.
Nope, not Jammy Dodger. People are saying Inky the cat's got some insider info. All right, you can have another go, Jen, if you want. Hobnobs, custard creams, chocolate.
Chocolate caramel digestive.
That would be my choice, but no. Pink wafers.
Bourbons.
No. Wagon wheels. There's a blast. Garibaldi's. Actually, to be honest, Garibaldi's would be my favourite as well, but no. Chip cookies, no. Oh, you got them with this one. Oreos, no. Penguins. You still in with a chance here, Jen?
Rich tea.
No. Oh, man.
What are lemon puffs?
Lemon puffs.
Oh.
Do you know about lemon puffs?
Free biscuits.
Ice rings Tim Tams. Oh, I've heard of Have you heard of Tim Tams, Jen?
I think so.
Okay, we're still no ginger nuts. I think you might have got them.
Chocolate animal shapes.
No.
Gluten free is not really a biscuit. Oh, Professor Dictaby, I'm sorry to hear your internet's dropping out. Catch up later, but unfortunately you won't be able to enter the quiz. I think we've got I mean, if we give you a clue, you're going to get it, I think. Unless you can think of a clue that's not obvious.
I'll try. It's to do with ginger.
Oh.
Ginger snaps.
No. Some people might not think it's a biscuit.
Yeah, to be fair, they're made into a special shape.
Oh, blimey.
You can make them in loads of different shapes.
But specifically, I can't believe no one's got this.
Gingerbread men.
Yeah!
There we go.
Now, I have a feeling Wagyu might have got in there first because it's very hard to tell.
Look at the live chat. Look at the
Yeah, the live chat's going bananas. So we'll give Jen that because obviously she got it right as well. And just as she said it, into the live chat popped up Wagyu, very closely followed by Feld Muso, very closely followed by Ben Breslin, Will Joseph, Andrew Brooks, Matt Boone, James Dyson. But Ken Spong said Mikado. Hey, Ken Spong. Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong?
There's Darth Vader.
Darth is in the chat. Did you catch the Kent Spong show?
I haven't had a chance.
Oh, it would have been a different show if you'd seen it. Kent Spong repairs synth. So every time you see Kent Spong, you say, Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong with my synth? Right, okay, let's have another question. What have we got this time?
What did I have for breakfast?
Waffles.
No.
I don't know. Oh, no, right now this is the most posh breakfast. I don't even know we even had this in the house, right? I don't think you'll ever get this.
Well, you were the one that made some of it up.
I did. I'm not going to say. I might have just given a little bit away, but yeah, it's very posh.
Croque monsieur.
Oh, nice idea. No,
What's that?
it's like what's that like? Egg on toast.
Pretty much.
Right, we got Cocoa Pops, muesli, cornflakes, gingerbread men. Good idea. Good idea. Cheerios, Pop Tarts. None of these are posh enough. Pancakes is one thing we have.
It's
for
more than
breakfast.
one thing.
It is. It's if you went to stay at a friend's house and they said, "What would you like for breakfast?" and you said,
Waffles?
they would. No. They go, "Oh,
Caviar.
bangers and mash." Not that posh.
What's bangers and that?
It's sausage and mash. Bangers is the name for sausages. You've not heard that before? Bangers and mash. Caviar and baked beans on toast from Wagyu.
I
Rob
don't like baked
Heck
beans.
says, no, we don't like baked beans. Well, you don't. Fried cheese
Toast
sandwich.
Duck egg.
Salmon and bagels. No.
That's kind of on the line with where we were at. Salmon on
Yeah.
bagels. Spaghetti carbonara.
Sausage, egg and chips. No, that's more of a dinner. Lobster.
Beef and bacon. Lobster. Oh, that would be a nice breakfast.
Oh, my
wouldn't it?
cat's tangled up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, don't worry. Oh, is she all right? Oh, no. Is she okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, my cat decided to, for the first time in 7 years, wow, I'm live on cat. It can't get out the window without tangling itself up. It was hanging there by its back legs before.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Great.
But that's good because we're going to talk about dogs later. All right, kippers, I think that's pop tarts, pop tar, deep fried Mars bars on toast. I don't think.
I've never had Pop Tarts.
No, they're just like jam in a. Yeah. Don't forget your mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Gaffer tape your mic to your nose.
Synths and cats, someone said.
Synths and cats. I don't think anyone's going to get this.
Okay, should I say?
I think you should, and then everyone will go, oh.
Toasted brioche and raspberries.
See? Oh. Toasted brioche and raspberries. Loullamae. Wow.
Oh, you made the toasted brioche part up.
I thought it was.
And
with-
then Moe just said, do
just
you want
said,
some raspberries?
Put some raspberries on it. Okay.
No, I had raspberries separate.
Oh, it sounded like they were together. Yeah, posh, you see. Everyone's going, ooh. Ooh. Corrosive Abuser said, I was going to say that. Should we give that? All right. All right. Let's go for another one then. That was a very bad. Oh, not that one. Yeah, Alan Crawford. That's just like posh toast and jam. Exactly. All right, next one, please.
What colour are my toenails?
Welcome back, Professor Dick to Beat. Thank you for coming back, and hope your internet is working.
I didn't hear that. I had what colour are?
Oh, okay. So
My toenails.
the question is, what colour are Loullamae's toenails? And as if by magic, I do have one of those.
Orange.
No, let me check my cheat sheet. 2 colours.
Pink
We're
and yellow.
very posh in this house.
No? Pink and yellow?
Pink and yellow. No.
We got one colour kind of.
Oh, pink is correct. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
and
Pink
light blue.
and no.
Wait, yeah.
Is it? Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Actually scored a point.
Wow.
Someone got it too, blue and pink.
Who said blue
Will
and pink in the
Joseph.
chat?
Will Joseph.
Will Joseph in the chat as well. Blue and pink. This is incredible. I am so sorry that I knocked that one back. That was very, very good. So you are now on 2 because it was just in before Will Joseph. So what's the record? I ask you every time. 3? 3 from Inky the Cat. So you're in a good chance. We've got 3 questions left. You may well leap into the lead. Incidentally, fact fans, Inky the Cat's Sunday appearance on here is the most viewed hours of any Sunday appearance. She has blown away all the competition. Everyone so far has been watching Inky. But it was a while ago, so her hours have been building up. But she's in the league table of guest leads, at least until today anyway. So, okay, we ready? Next question, please. Okay.
What did Auntie Claudia buy me when she heard I wanted a dog?
Okay, what did Auntie Claudia buy me when she heard I wanted a dog? A Sony Abo.
A
Nope.
cat, someone said.
A fishing rod. A lead.
Someone got it.
Where? Oh, yes, Sentient got it. And he's whizzed off the top. A dog collar. No. Where's Sentient's one? It's gone. Oh, I can never keep up. Poo bags. Well done, Sentient.
And there's one more.
I had a couple of problems in the system.
Okay, no worries.
One more.
And there is one other thing that came with the poo bag.
Well, it didn't
Poop
come with
scoop.
the boo bag.
It was like it could have been a scoop. No, there was another thing. I think we'll give him that for poo bag. It was a book on how to look after your
a dog.
puppy. So in which actually brings us on to another little topic here. Are you okay? Is your stuff working all right over there, or are you suffering from that?
Fine. Yeah,
And your body's still working. Your
just
nose
about.
hasn't-
I don't know what happened, but 5 minutes after we started, I came out in an almighty sweat,
Oh,
and I look
no.
a mess, but whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, Loullamae gave me. Well, I found on my desk one morning this note. Let me just get rid of Sentient's comment saying poo bags. If I can even find it. There it is. And let me get rid of that one as well. So this note might be slightly hard to read, but I found it on my desk. And it basically says things for a dog. Things I can do to help look after a dog. It's a bit like one of those BuzzFeed 10 reasons to buy this bike or whatever. Take it on walks and bike rides. Feed it 2 times a day. Love it. Think of a name. And more. And more. So the question is, getting a dog is obviously a serious thing. I'm no way belittling the fact that dogs are not toys. We do spend a lot of time at home. We do have a reasonable sized garden, and we could take care of a dog. We have a very elderly cat who is going nowhere, and nothing would happen whilst we have our elderly cat. But if one day our elderly cat should sadly depart, do you think Loullamae should be able to get a dog? And my point is that basically it will end up being looked after by me or mummy, because, you'll be off at university or
I'll
life,
look after it.
and dogs get to like 20 years old, and in 20 years' time you'll be 29. Will you be looking after the dog then?
Yeah.
What do you think, Jen?
I think she'd do a great job of looking after it. But I think you're right. I think that when she goes to college and is off having fun, I think you will become doggy daddy.
So I should just accept the...
I don't think you've got a lot of choice in it. I mean, look at her. She's beautiful. She's got a unicorn on her head, and she wants a dog. I mean, she's already owns what? She got a lead in a book.
She's got poo bags, a book. She had a lead before, actually, because someone gave you a lead.
I have an
for your
actual
toddler.
dog lead and a dog collar.
I'm not sure you really have a lot of choice in this anymore.
I've put a poll up.
I have a drawer of dog toys. Well, dogs.
It's so far the
Stuffed toys.
poll is 87% yes, which
Already? You just posted
I
it.
posted it about 5 seconds ago.
Okay.
Dom, see, now if I had a dog, I would want like one of these. This is like a chow chow. But the trouble with chow chows apparently is that they can be quite aggressive.
Yes, they can.
They don't look that aggressive, particularly, I mean, basically, if they're puppies and you handle them and you bring them up around people, so I'm told, then they get used to them. But if you don't do that, then they can actually get quite nasty. And as a first dog, I've never had a dog. Probably that's a little bit too much. And then they said that you're meant to look like your dogs. So hang on. I don't know if I can do. I'm sorry, I disappeared. It's like, do I look like? Do I look like me?
No.
A bit, maybe. Can we shave it and see what it looks like then?
Yeah, maybe. Someone said that's probably better.
Oh, that's very good.
So I was thinking, Loullamae, is that like you? That's not bad, actually. That's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a King Charles
That's
Spaniel.
the one Amelia wants.
She wants a
That's
King
my
Charles
favourite
Spaniel.
I
kind of
think.
dog.
It's, that does. That's not far off, actually. I was trying to think of dogs that you might look like in the nicest possible way, and because the whole thing is that dogs meant to look like their owners.
Didn't the dog I like look like me?
I couldn't find a picture of it. We're at 88% yes. Let's just.
What about no?
Well, let's have 88. Do you know what 100 minus 88 is?
Wait, people are saying no.
12%. Now it's on 89%. So
I love it. Wait, people are saying
people
no.
are saying no.
Dare they?
What? Where are my toasted brioche and raspberries anyway? Off with their heads. Let's see. I'm missing out on the chat here. So as well as the poll, let's have a look. We're still on eggs and beans and chips. The Sony
You should
Abo.
get
We're
a pet
way
giraffe.
behind. You should get a pet giraffe. You should get a leash. Mr. Wiggly, go to Discovered Dogs at Crufts. The no is from Dom voting on his phone secretly. Kent Spong, who
You have your phone next to you.
no, I see. I didn't touch it. Kent Spong, who was on,
Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong?
What about
has a
dogs?
husky, and we saw his husky before we went live, and they are just the most gorgeous dogs. But he said he had to hoover 3 times a day.
I saw the best pet brush for a dog.
Really?
It takes all the fur off them.
Oh, well,
not all
that's
of it.
solved as well. You've solved everything, right? So we're up to 90% saying yes.
Yay! Let's see if we can get it to 100.
Okay, Azio-head's got a good idea here. He says get some goats. They're cool.
Alpaca, they're fun.
Let me just...
A panther, someone said.
I did try and find some dogs that might fit with you, Jen. So apologies in advance. You might have to lean slightly to the left. So I've got 3. So I've got miniature poodle. So if you lean over... What do we reckon? It's got the eyes. Let me just drop that little comment and see, and let's have a look. So the second one is a silky terrier, which sounds kind of cool to me.
Oh, I like that one.
I think that's the closest. And the last one I just had to include because it's kind of you on the way out to a party. That's called a Chinese crested.
I know why you picked that one because the boots I had on the first time I met you,
Right.
black and white. Do you remember?
Oh, there you go. Yes, that's right. I just thought that was kind of you on your way out to a party. That's such a bling dog. It is such a bling. Well, it's looking like, I guess, yeah, it's looking like the dog is...
Get it to 100. Get it to 100.
Unfortunately, if one person votes against it, I'd love to know who did vote against it because I need to know the reasons. I did a jingle actually, which we completely missed. But if I can find it, it's probably worth a look. Hold on. If we had a if we had a dog. So I guess the poll is in 90%. Can anyone give me a reason not to have a dog? Because I will be the one. Well, yeah, and hair. But we got the bags for the poo, I suppose. Any recommendations for dogs?
Do you like to go away on holiday? Well,
that is a good point.
Yeah, not at the moment, is it?
Well, no, but I mean, yeah, it's you'll be going on holiday and it'll be, Dad, can you look after the dog?
No, I'll bring it with me.
Can you bring dogs on holiday?
Yeah, I've seen people do that.
Oh, right, here. Wagyu's got the answer here. Very true. I probably spent 5,000 on the pug and maybe 500 on the husky. Half of that was she swallowed something stupid and blocked her bowels once too. So that's £5,500 on dogs because they did silly stuff. I voted against. Good stuff. I think a cat is much easier to take care of. I agree with you, Will Joseph.
No, it's gone down.
It has. More people are voting no.
No.
Don't call it a comeback. But I love cats. We all love cats. Jen loves cats. She's got a cat, as we've just seen, trying to climb out the window. just so desperate to get away. I nearly got there. I got my feet tangled in something. Okay, let's have one more quiz question, and let's get back to the real world. We need the real world. Hang on a second. Okay, one more question then. Do the last one, because it's actually 8 o'clock. I didn't realise. We've been whizzing through. Miss out the one. We can do that one next week.
This one or that one?
This one.
But then that one won't be in date next week.
That's okay. Do this one, if you don't mind.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Pop star.
Pop star? No.
Nurse.
Zaffin's been looking after Chickie's husky. I didn't know Chickie Reeves, Charles Chickie
Chickens
Reeves.
have a husky.
No, Charles Chickie Reeves. That's a husky. Chickens, yeah, that's right. There's a chicken who's currently looking after Chickie's husky. Can you imagine the mess in that house? A princess, a doctor,
Scientist.
a nurse. Good call.
Someone said 10.
10. Yeah, when you will be 10 when you grow up. I
Taller?
guess. Happy. Well, Cress said correct, absolutely, but it's not the answer on the card. Taller, older, jet fighter pilot,
Music DJ.
a synth repair guru. Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong? A pirate,
A spy.
an airline pilot.
You. Someone got it right. You.
Did they? A dog owner. Well, yeah, a dog owner is actually very,
Someone
very
got it
true.
right. They said
You.
you. I'm always going to be
You are, and that's very important too. I think you've got them. How many has Jen got? She's got 2, right?
Chef.
You, good call.
You
No.
get this one, you'll be tying with ink.
Yeah, it'll be you and Inky in the lead, but you need to get this. Kent Spong, she can come and work for me.
Nutritionist.
No. I'll give you a clue. It's a job that most people do as a part-time thing when they're younger.
You want to be a paper boy?
No. But that you're on the right kind. That's that kind of a job. But Lily's going to do it full time. A TikTok influencer.
Dog walker.
Not quite.
A rabbit groomer. A hamster minder.
A hamster minder.
A vlogger, someone said. Someone. Work in a shop.
Babysitter.
Yes!
Yes.
Epic. So you are now.
With Inky.
You are tying for first place with Inky. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Well done. Wowza, wowza, wowza. That is absolutely brilliant.
So does she do babysitting now?
Not as a 9-year-old,
No.
but well, I don't know how old do you have to be a babysitter? 16, I suppose. 2.
Yeah, but I think my sister did it when she was 14.
Yeah.
Back then, people were...
Before the court case, or
I can babysit the dog.
you could babysit a dog.
Yay!
Probably babysit a chicken. Charles Chicken Reeves. Jenny's better as a poodle.
Would the chicken have the husky?
I think Professor Dixby is watching it delayed. I have a feeling. Would the chicken have a husky? Well, possibly. Zaffin Music completely forgot about the show. How is everyone? How very dare you? It's nearly over. Goodness me. The pop quiz should be an hour on its own. Do a poll on that. We'll do one next week. We're kind of at the hour. Is there anything you want to share musically? I haven't asked you enough questions about your life, really. We've just been dithering around on quizzes and stuff.
As I say, if I'm really honest, I still feel that I spent a few years messing around and I've only just got to the point where it's all kind of ready to make stuff. So, and since it has, I've been up and down. I've done a few things. I've now got this live set and Clown Fest to do. So, I don't know really what to promote. I've been working on a house track, a deep house track. Sorry, but I think everyone's heard that to death now, and they're going to hear it again on Tuesday.
Well,
So
I mean, jump on the Twitter, everybody, so that you can get to hear all of this stuff. Synth Addict is saying, what's your favourite synth, which is actually something I meant to ask you in the first place. So, where are we? What is Jen's favourite synth or groovebox other than the Deluge, and why?
Okay, will have to be the Tempest, really, won't it? Because it's great. It's analog. It's got 6 channels. It's got all sorts of effects. You can fiddle with it live. It's very deep, and I've got so much to learn about it. So probably that, or the 2600, my Blue Marvin. But again, I've got so much to learn about that. I'm constantly kind of conflicted with, do I write a track on Ableton and finish it? Do I do a live set on the rig, and perform that live? Or do I get on and record my Clownfest set. So I've got so many different things on the go that I haven't quite had a chance to delve into the modular stuff as much as I'd like. I'm still restricted to farty noises at the moment.
That's ties in with what Andrew Brooks just asked, which is of the cables on the door handle for modular. I guess that's for the 2600, is it?
Yes, there's the 2600 is just to my left here.
I mean, those two things are kind of my two favourite things as well. The Tempest and the 2600 is just epic. I've hardly plugged anything into the 2600 modular wise. Just kind of running the oscillators and the filters just as they are has been entertaining enough for now. It just sounds so lovely.
I'm always a bit nervous of it. I've read stories that you could create a loop quite easily and destroy it if you do the wrong things. So I'm always a bit nervous. I tend to go to a site, find a patch, and then
copy it.
Yeah,
as long as you're going out to ins, I suppose it could end up with a loop, but yeah, out to ins, they're pretty solid. It's weird actually. It does so much more stuff than I realised via patching. You know, the oscillators as they stand without being patched are kind of fairly basic, but you get lots more waveforms and stuff. And yet back in the day when the reason I wanted one, because I was watching Vince Clarke years ago making an entire tune with an original one, and there wasn't much patching involved, but he'd set the kick drum up and then record that, and then he'd do the snare drum and record that, and then he'd make a hi-hat sound out of one. And I was just like, this is quite incredible to watch. But yeah, very, very, very good. And the Tempest is amazing. It reminds me of Prince for some reason, always has done, but as though Prince uses the Linn drum all the time. But you do have to work to get decent kick drums out of it.
I don't use it for kicks.
Right.
I don't like the kicks on it.
No, exactly.
You can get a nice solid thump, but it's very hard to get that sharp transient at the beginning on it.
Yes.
That almost a clickiness. So I don't use it for kicks. I use it for everything but kicks. I basically use samples on the Deluge.
Well, that's fair enough. I spent some time kind of following YouTube things, trying to make kicks and stuff, and it sounds okay. But yeah, there are better ones to be had. Definitely, it makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah, I've worked through those tutorials as well, and yeah, you can make a fairly nice kick, but I can sample a much better kick. I mean, the ones you sent me that you made on your the Pomona you made them on.
Yeah, it's a Jomox kick drum. Have a look at mrwiggly.co.uk. Have a look at the Mr. Wiggly YouTube channel. You can get there off .co.uk if you want some free kick drum sounds, because there is a kick drum video on there which links to a whole bunch of them, and they are really good. I use them all the time. They're not just sort of average, if I say so myself. Andrew Brooks says you shouldn't cause any damage even if it's wrong on the 2600. Just patch and see and hear what happened. I think that's pretty true, actually.
Well, yeah, I'm still nervous. It costs me a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to just kind of randomly patch, and as much as that's fun, it's not really teaching me why it's doing what it's doing. So I want to work through it and learn it. And, you know, simple concepts like modulating the oscillator, you know, in the LFO. And I'm starting to understand how synthesis works, but not yet to confidently just go to it and patch it where I want and make what I want. But
yeah,
I'll get there one day. You know.
It's a great teaching tool as well, actually, for learning exactly that. You know, I've got an oscillator and a filter and a VCA and an envelope and all the rest of it, and they're really nicely laid out, and it just sounds brilliant. I highly recommend it. Have a look at the Behringer 2600 if you're looking for something that really kind of transcends as good as you think it's going to be. Wagyu saying get the original ARP 2600 patch book. It's a PDF online. I think Korg have it in their downloads for the Korg ARP. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Have you not got that?
No, I haven't.
Oh yeah, you can find a copy of the original book. I can send you a copy if you want.
Well, that would be marvellous. Thank you.
I'll do it when we finish.
Yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Talking of which, I think we're probably pretty much finished. The question for the chat about the fringe didn't last very long at all, did it? Inky got that one, so we were going to kind of pull back and have a look at that. I'm pretty sure we're pretty much there. The vote as it stands at the moment, Zafin, you better get your vote in quick if you came in late, is at 83% for yes.
It's gone down.
So I'm going to leave it for... it hasn't gone down. It's actually gone up a bit. I mean, it was 90, to be fair. So
Loullamae Daddy hasn't told you, but it only needs to be above 51, and then you've won. Okay.
Yeah, this is true.
Really?
So you're pretty.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Yay!
Yes, because it's between 0 and 100, so anything over 50 is going to be all right. So 83% is there. Will Joseph is a quick question saying, do you play software synths through the Deluge as well? No, I don't. I do put them through things like the Incinerator plugin to make them sound better, but generally, no. I would use a Deluge to control stuff, and then software synths, I'd move everything into a DAW. I guess you're not doing that, are you, Jen?
No, I don't. Control softwares. What? So
actually,
VSTs with the Deluge?
No, actually record the software synths out from Ableton into the Deluge if you want to take it out live and stuff.
I will be recording stuff into the Deluge for the gig I've got in September. The first time I'll be playing out.
So you're just going to take the Deluge, and what kit's coming with you?
I'm not really sure yet. I'm thinking probably the monologue, the Deluge, and an acid box or two, and that's it. I'm not going to take tons. So
Right,
what I'll
awesome.
do is make a set, and then the bits I'm not going to take, I'll record in as audio to the Deluge.
Nice. Well, that unfortunately is not open to the general public, I don't think. Otherwise, we could all go and see you. Inky the cat is Dom's getting a dog. Lovely. Happy face from Chris Head.
Yay, doggy! I want a doggy.
So the question now, really, I guess, is what kind of a dog? But we can leave that to next time. I've got to say, the wonderful looking Jen going out to a gig dog. Let me find it. It's clearly the best one. That's great.
I wish I looked that flash going out.
That so much of me wants one of these. That's the trouble, and it's just
You don't think that looks a bit like what's
Bungle
his name?
off of Rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. That is
Was that what you were
literally
gonna say?
Bungle. Yeah, it's Bungle, isn't it? Look at him.
Hello.
Oh, Rippo.
Oh, yippee. Oh, that's George, isn't it? George, yippee. Anyway, we can't go there.
Actually do impressions.
Oh, Jeffrey. That's it, isn't it? Jeffrey. Bungle's been stealing again. No, that's terrible. Okay, I think we can draw a halt to the proceedings. We have overrun for 10 minutes, which is the first time because it's been so much fun. The quiz is taking over the whole show, so we might have to do something about that. We might have to do a separate quiz or make the quiz longer, or I don't know. How do you feel it went, Jen? Do you think there was enough quiz?
Oh, I think the quiz is the best bit, quite frankly.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of serious music chat shows about, isn't there? And,
True.
It's quite a nice light thing on a Sunday night. And we get to see lovely Loullamae doing her thing.
Eating the mic.
I think it's great.
Getting the dog. Oh, perfect. Well, that's kind of the idea, to try and cheer up. You know those terrible Sunday blues feelings when you've got to go back to school the next day and all that kind of stuff, or back to work on the Monday or whatever. It's trying to blow away those. I think it's probably the way to go. All right. Well, thank you, everybody in the chat. It's been absolutely epic. Thank you for all your support. Ciao, everybody, says Martin Taylor. Wah, wah, wah. And we'll see you all next Sunday, live and direct from here. Thank you so much, Jen, for being on. It's been absolutely awesome. And I really had to persuade you for a while to come on. I know you didn't normally want to come and do these things, so I really appreciate your support and being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for asking me. I'm really sorry I'm not very good with this whole mic thing.
That's all right. It sounded fine before we went on. I think something just went a bit quiet.
Okay, cool.
Sounds great.
Absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for asking.
Oh, fabulous. Well, thanks, everybody. See you again same time next week. And please go and follow Jen on Twitter and have a listen to all her stuff and follow as much as you can. And from all of us, including Loullamae, bye for now. Cheers.
Urbanist connect so with the herb pipe. Link up the harmonized left the termite. But beyond obsolete blessings a birthright. We live a life which a lot for me no short worldwide. Cosmic love energy, I go herbicide free, organically, me say worthwhile. Watch the way one of you take term points in terms of definitions and some termites. Get side check the eye. One side is defined by one side the other. I.e. I am an idea's man. I assign too much of the qualities of my guy. Who's free if I'm talking like this to me?